I know what the folks go, boom, Mark's not too five numbers after the name Freestyle Friday. Just had the same reaction I had when this first happened. I was like, what? This guy's really tall. Shout out to tall enemies in the game, though. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of just get between the legs, just, you know, annihilate him from one side to the other and move around. You know, that AoE, woo! Shout out to 100% resistant shield, physical resistant shield. Oof, completely misread that. Misread that again. No biggie. Working through over here. Boss number 26, which is kind of crazy. I think if I were to go back, I don't know how many bosses the original Dark Souls has. I want to say it's in the 20s. It might be 20s. It's around there, I feel like. They've added more through. I feel like we got into the 30s in like Dark Souls 3. But we're like nowhere near being even done with bosses in this game. I mean, there's 20 like maybe core bosses in this game. In terms of like boss fights that you could have, this game's like Dark Souls on like steroids. Just boss after boss after boss. And it's really interesting how they kind of made this open world that it is empty for the most part, but it still has plenty of stuff to do. And also, by the way, there could just be a wild boss fight like anywhere. I think we'll show it later on because I did it like afterwards. But close to the beginning of the game, you have this huge like dragon that you could like fight, and you're way too weak for him. And it's the game telling you that like, hey, like, you know, make sure you come back to different areas, explore different things, get stronger. All that jazz, I get that. Make sure you're going the right way, because there is a right and a wrong way. It's open-ended, you can do whatever you want, but it's a matter of how hard or easy you want to make your life. So all that is still true, but I think it's also a way of the game being like, yo, this is a different beast, dog. Like, you could peacefully be walking through this marsh thinking nothing's gonna happen. Oh, and by the way, here's like this huge dragon that you have to fight. Now this is a little bit different over here. You get to the circle over here, and you know that something like a boss fight's going down. At this point, I've already done a couple of these. I went to like a stretch where I kind of banged out a bunch of these like in a row, so I think that's why we're seeing some of these videos coming over here in a short stretch. But I also knew it was a good way to kind of get one of these guys, especially if he's a big dude, get a bunch of souls, level up real quick off of him. And but you never know who's coming out of there. And for the most part, it's been kind of like smaller knights kind of that I've had to fight. I've had some really actually difficult fights in this with some guys that similar skill set or move set to like what I do, but just substantially like, you know, more magic and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this guy's like playing like Dark Souls. This guy's playing Elden Ring at a different level. So when I saw this fella pop out, I was like, okay, all right, tall skeleton guy. I think I got you over here. I think I worked this out. So as you can see, pretty much the same strategy, even a little bit sloppy. And now at this point, I'm probably like a little more concerned. Like, I don't have any Estus. Uh-oh. So just come back over here, hit him a couple times over there in the leg. Y'all already know how we doing, man. That calf weakness, bro. Achilles heel. Achilles heel.